Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. Sunday NFL action. The Indianapolis Colts travel to play Brian's Cleveland Browns. It's going to be Brian's free pick. We'll see if he's going to pull the homer card today or not with the Browns. But we're taping on Wednesday morning, and they were supposed to announce today whether or not they're going to go with Hoyer or Manziel. Reports are that they're going to go with Hoyer. Like you said as we came on set, why would you even announce which one you're going to use in advance?
I have no idea why you would do that. Why make the team prepare for one quarterback, make them prepare for two? What I would do is I'd start Hoyer, unless Hoyer has a great first half. I'd bring Manziel in the second half.
Yeah. Or like you said, don't even do anything and let them prepare.
Or not do anything.
You know, prepare for both. Or do you think they're smart enough to do this as a smoke screen?
They could be. And I'm being a Browns fan, I hope that's the case. I just don't understand why you would have to make an announcement. You got an Indy team here, and we've been on Indy a lot this year, the last few years, because their stats do not show. We talked about Florida State a little bit. The stats do not show how this team just wins. They don't have the greatest stats in the world, but they win. Problem is here is they're going on the road. They're a dumb team playing in cold weather. We're now in December.
Is it cold in Cleveland in December?
It gets to be cold in Cleveland, which is why I don't go back to Cleveland in the winter. So you got to go in. You got to play on the road here, and if they were smart to be preparing for two quarterbacks. And the line is going up to like 4 here. And I like this Indy team. I really do. But the Browns are 4-0 against spread off of a loss. They did not look good at all last week. They're playing back at home. They played much better at home. Hoyer's played better at home, and if Manziel does play, he's got to feel more comfortable playing at home. They've now have their wide receiver back, who one of those interceptions last week is he ran the wrong route, which is why they threw the interception. But he can stretch the field, and that's something that Cleveland has needed. The running game has not been good all season long. In fact, one of the running backs they're replacing this week. It's very similar. Cleveland's running back situation is very similar like in New England, where you just run the football a little bit just so you can open up your passing game. I think now with the solid receiver they have coming back that has the ability to stretch the field, the Cleveland offense is going to be better. I kind of like the over in this game too, but it all depends on the weather.
Yeah. To point something else out too with the value, people are going to look at the just look at the scores, and they're going to see last week that Cleveland had a bad game again, and then they're going to look at Indianapolis, and they're going to see that Indianapolis rolled over Washington on the scoreboard. But if you watch the game, Washington moved the football quite well against Indianapolis last week. There was a situation in the second half where Washington had a chance to crawl back into the game again, and they had a 4th and inches near midfield, and they went for it, which, of course, with the record they have, you're supposed to go for it. But instead of just getting the first down and trying to keep the chains moving, they went for the big play, and the quarterback, Colt McCoy, got blindsided, fumbled, scoop and score, and then the game was over after that. It just opened up the onslaught after that. But Indianapolis kept answering every touchdown that Washington scored to give them the double-digit margin, but they kept going back and forth for 2.5 quarters before they really put it away the final quarter and a half.
You have a lot of knowledge on this game. It sounds like you've lost this game in a contest last week also.
Oh, no, actually, I liked Indianapolis. I gave it out on a video, and somebody else had it
right. I had Indy in the contest.
Yes,
oh, yeah, an easy double-digit winner.
Yeah. It was great analysis last week.
It was great analysis. Yeah. I'm glad you put me on that. But anyway, Indy's offense can score on anybody, but you made a great point. Even the Washington offense looked good against this Indy defense. Indy's not a very good defensive team. Points will be scored here. Once again, you always have to take the weather in account. I think Cleveland's team is built better for the bad weather than Indy being a dome team. Indy doesn't run the ball that well either. They're more of a passing team, obviously. But catching the 4 at home, I like the Browns, and if weather permits, I'll be on the over also.
Yep, and definitely we always talk about value finding, going against a team when they're overpriced and taking a team when they're undervalued, and I think this week you're getting it on both ends of it, not just one. Because you could have one team that, is definitely overpriced, but the other team doesn't look bad. Right now, Cleveland looks in total disarray with the back and forth with the quarterback. So you're getting a good number, and I see it going higher. I think that now that they go ahead and say Hoyer starting, I think it might bump another half a point because the public right now is not happy with Hoyer because of the last couple games. I think if they would have went to Manziel, even though it would have been a downgrade, in my opinion, obviously experience-wise, there's that unknown factor that people would have wanted to look at him and say, well, he can do something, and think he's going to pull off the Texas A&M magic that he had that was more of the system than the quarterback, in my opinion. All right, Brian says take Cleveland plus the points. I can't disagree with him with that one. I'm going to also tell you that on Sunday, if you're looking for some NFL action, we have a capper at the site, Tony Finn. He's releasing his NFC Game of the Year. Now, Tony's been on quite a run, and in the NFL over the last 5 weeks, he's gone 14-5. You want to check that out, head over to wagertalk.com and check out Tony Finn's NFC Game of the Year. All right, one more NFL game. It's Monday night action. That comes up next. Wagertalk.com.
And he's really good at home.